Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. And we're going to run over to Grand Rapids right now. Jeremiah Mostrom is the Chief Revenue Officer. God, I need one of those at Axios HR. Unbelievable. Welcome to the show, Jeremiah. And tell us what the Chief Revenue Officer, I mean, I'm envious that you guys have one.
Well, it involves a lot of things actually, but primarily, number one, I guess we just need to make sure people are having fun. I guess that's part of it. Is if we're engaged and happy and having fun, we're making revenue, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
But really, my role is to make sure that we're making good investments and that our business is growing dynamically, and that we're staying ahead of the shifting dynamics and in this world, and especially in the employment world, and kind of staying ahead of that so we can serve our clients in the best way.
It's kind of interesting because to mid-Michigan here, it looks like you guys just exploded onto the HR scene.
Absolutely.
But there's a little more history than that.
Yeah, we've been around for 35 years. We've been in the Grand Rapids area for 35 years, and but I think as time continues to progress, we're seeing that people and HR are becoming, that topic is I think businesses are recognizing the importance of it, and we're trying to position ourselves to stay ahead of it, and mainly help our clients and the businesses in our communities stay ahead of it as well.
Well, it's not only a matter of staying in compliance, but it's also a matter of team building. And if you're doing that HR thing right, you're keeping your people kind of in that environment where everybody's trying to steal them.
Yes, sir.
So February is Human Resources Month. What are employers facing here in 2024?
Yeah, I guess one of the things that we're seeing here in 2024 is we've come out of the pandemic. We're dealing with the Great Resignation, right? Where we had lots of people kind of, good and bad situations where people left to find more meaningful work, and that was positive. And then we had situations where, the price of, in manufacturing, and the wages went up, and became difficult. And then I think what you saw kind of from that is you had this situation where people recognize that, being connected at work, being engaged, understanding the benefit of and the need to have a work-life balance. We've really seen the dynamic shift to how our company is trying to figure out how to keep people engaged, how you've got people that want to be a part of, want to be in the office, want to be engaging, want to be, working together and being creative. Then you have another group that people want to, continue to have more of that autonomy. And so right now we're just seeing, how do we help employers navigate that? And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy as a small business and an entrepreneur. You've got a lot in your hands. So working on the people side of things, while it's important, it can be a challenge.
Well, the fact is that's why you need to go get professionals in that area, because
yes, sir.
Small business, I've been small business my whole life, and you're doing this and doing that, and then you're trying to think outside the business. HR, that's like something you don't know enough about and can only kind of muck it up, so to speak. Quiet quitting. Talk a little bit about that, because that goes to that culture building thing.
So, quiet quitting, I think really what it is, there's two sides to it. You have people that quiet quit because there's a personal reason. I think as what we're seeing is that there's, while we're all very blessed, we all have our own issues at home, and with the economy, and so there's things that kind of happen, mental health stuff, where it's personal, and people just decide, what, I really need to start looking for something else, but they're getting just disengaged, and it's a personal thing, and it happens, and they don't want to make a scene, or so unfortunately it has a negative consequence. But really what I would say is that it's important for people to understand that if that's happening, and it may be happening, you're not aware of it yet, is that it's usually a result of an underlying situation, right? Where you have people that maybe during the Great Resignation, you had leadership shift, and you really don't have quality leadership. You're not feeling like, your contributions aren't being recognized, or, there's a something toxic happening internally and you don't recognize it. And next thing you know, people are becoming disengaged and quietly quitting. And the dangerous part about that is the word quiet, right?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
understand that people are leaving and becoming disengaged. And what it's really doing is also creating a lot of toxicity, right? You have, employees that are engaged and working hard, sitting there going, I'm working my butt off. I'm in the office 3 days, 4 days a week. And then my colleague, does the bare minimum. And then next thing you know, it kind of creates a snowball if it's not addressed appropriately.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. And maybe a worst case scenario of quiet quitting is when they just disengage, but they keep coming to work.
Yes, exactly. And it takes a strategy, and it takes, acknowledgement that it could be a problem. But really, I think it just goes back to how are we as leaders, and how are we making sure that we're engaging our employees in the right way.
Building that culture. Jeremiah Mostrom, he is the Chief Revenue Officer, and you heard what that's all about with Axios HR in Grand Rapids. And Jeremiah, thanks for joining us. Keep up the good work, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You are watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be back with